Hi, it's Hazel. Welcome to my channel, Hazel Anaka Design. I am so grateful to have you here. I appreciate each and every one of you. And yeah, even if I forget to say it on the odd video, know that it is true. I'm hoping that this is going to be a quick video, but hey, I've been wrong before, so sorry for this croaky voice. I don't know what's going on. I haven't been talking today. I am wanting to put together a teeny tiny journal so that I can take part in Meg Journal's Junk Journal January. I've printed the prompt sheet. I printed the free 3 free ephemera pages. Not that I have a shortage of paper or images, but you know, it's just nice to mix it up. Anyway, I watched Meg's introductory video, and then I watched the one where she was preparing her journal. And I think part of what I have done, not wrong, because you know there is no wrong, is working on too large a format. We know that everyone is busy and December is bad, and maybe January will be better in a sense once the holidays are behind us. But the reality is that it is physically impossible to take part in to watch all the videos, comment on all the videos, take part in the swaps, the collaborations, the all of those things that are so enticing, so appealing, not only for the growth that it would present, the growth opportunities it presents to us, but the opportunity to help and support each other and our channels. So she said that she's using roughly A5 paper. So I didn't know what that meant. I Googled it. It's it's less than 6 inches by a little more than 8 inches. So initially I was thinking, okay, I could make a journal from scratch. No biggie. And then I thought, well, I have things that could serve as covers. But then this is like a 9 by 12. This is gift wrap on manila tag sewn around the edge. So there'd be a little body to it. This is napkin on one of the larger index cards, zigzag around. This is kind of on the small side, I would say. Mind you, it's 5 by 4, so I guess it's not too bad. And then I kept looking because goodness knows I got journal covers, you know, from here to infinity. And then this is one where I've used colored cardstock and a sheer fabric overlay. So on the lightest parts of the design, the color of the cardstock comes through. So it feels the most substantial of these choices I've shown you. And this is, well, it's almost 6. Like it's 5 3/4 by 4.5. So it's going to be this baby. And I guess this will be the cover. So what I've done, and I took a page out of her instructions, is just gathered. Like I went to the drawers where I keep signature pages, or, you know, if it's a particularly useful book that I've deconstructed, I might have the whole, all the folios and signatures out of the book in there. And I have an assortment of paper. Now, one thing she didn't say, and maybe I should have asked that in the comments, is how many pages. Now, from what I remember watching her videos other times, like either January or July, is that that was just me putting on lip balm. she tends to, well, she works small, and sometimes she will just do like one page, and other times it will sort of bleed over onto a 2-page spread. So 31 days in the month, I just gathered a bunch of paper. Now, of course, with something like this that's just folded in half, that isn't really much of a spine. Now, because there's fabric, there would be a little more give. But anyway, let's just kind of see what I picked out here. I'm not even sure what this is, but it's got a coffee stain design on it. This was a scrap sitting on my desk. This is really old paper. I love using it. This was something that was left over. This is just an old Francis Myers. So this is an old piece, and I do mean old, piece of scrapbooking paper. Way back when it used to be 8.5 by 11. This is an index page, fairly glossy, with these lovely little diagrams. Now, of course, it would have to be, kind of the other way around, but a planner type pad, I guess. Some, what do you call it, shorthand. And again, I didn't pick these pages because they're so darn beautiful. I picked them because I thought they would provide, well, a backdrop. Either a very plain one, like this brown piece of paper, or it would provide something with a lot more going on. But the benefit to a random mix like this is that becomes part of the challenge. So there's that. There's this lined black paper. I guess it would have been this way since it has holes punched in it. This way is much better, of course, because you've got the lines. Not that anyone is going to be writing in this necessarily. This is just a small folio out of, I don't know, one of those gift book type things. This is out of an old artist book. Cool images there with palette knives. This is something that I talked about in a recent video, and I thought, well, I could open this, I guess it's like a CD wallet, could open this up and let it be a page. This is a digital that clearly I printed without paying attention to the fact that the print, that I had to do the print nozzle cleaning. And usually when that happens, I send a whole bunch of things to print, don't have a good look at them, and print a whole bunch of things that are virtually useless. But that would be a good place to use it. This is just, I guess, out of a notepad or something. This is from a provincial election. I don't even know. Earlier in 2023. This is kind of newsprint weight, and it's when kids are learning how to print. This is from a beautiful art book. And I think I fussy cut all the colored images, but some of these images that are from sketchbooks or just print in black and white are still great, and the paper feels lovely. I'm not sure why I have this taking up valuable space in my filing cabinet. It says, it's actually Tales from Shakespeare. And again, this is a good way to use that up. So let's begin, I guess, first of all, by starting to do some folding. And because this is going to be, maybe if I move this to my left, I'll be able to move up with this. So I think what I'm going to do, and I was a little bit maybe relieved that Meg herself was, what am I trying to say? She was having to trim things as well. So she didn't have it all right on the first attempt either. So what I would typically do here, and maybe, well, I won't do it, but typically I would just fold this in half and tear along the fold, but whoops. And then the ruler slips, and your decollage becomes even more so. So clearly that is smaller than the height of the book. Now, I think that she cut, but again, my channel, my project, my rules. For now, I'm just going to, you know, basically get some pieces of paper roughly put together, and then I'll decide what to do about the length of them. Maybe I'll put that second one away. Okay, what did I say? This 5 3/4. So if I did like 5 1/2, that would be a-okay. This is 11, so half would be pretty well perfect. So I'm just using the grid on my table here. I have to decapitate this lynx. And so far, I'm just going to throw them there. This is too tall. But the paper is so very thin. Maybe I'll just fold down that top margin and leave it there for the time being. Oh, I haven't pulled the staples out of this. Hopefully my staple puller is somewhere nearby. This is a Thursday as I'm taping this. I have so little to show for today, it's not even funny. Mind you, I did tape a thrift haul video that will air in 2024. I did do some organizing, excuse me, and crafting along with one eye on the screen, with Angela, the Traveling Crafters live sale on her channel. You know, there are many things that I would like to bid on, but honestly, our dollar exchange is so brutal that, you know, something that's on the face of it seems like, oh yeah, that's a good price. Add 40%. Ooh, maybe not so much. So that's unfortunate, but it is nice just to sort of see what the girls are up to and throw in the odd comment here and there. This one is pretty good by itself. This one I will just fold in half. Now I know that Meg quite often adds flips and whatnot, flip outs. Maybe I'll tear this along where this photo is. And about an inch or so at the top. Or I could even do the width of this ruler. And I'm really trying to look at this as a even if 1/4 off, it would still be too big. Trying to look at this as a personal challenge type thing. She says that she deliberately leaves her prompts open-ended. How tall is this? 6, 8.5, so 4 1/4. So, of course, sometimes the more open-ended something is, the more difficult it is. Just saying, Meg. Now I will, okay, 4, almost 8, so let's just sort of roughly tear this in half. Oh, that was kind of same thing here. 5, 8, so about the 4. So these pages, because it's just sort of, I don't want to say scraps because not really. These pages and their small size should be totally unintimidating. Unintimidating? Is that a word? Not intimidating. 4, 8 1/4, so about there. That little guy can go by himself. Maybe this died. Well, okay, what the heck? Let's use this. What are we saving it for? Junk January. It is 2022. And same thing with this. Now that looks like a lot of pages. So we will be making some decisions. Oh, and I wanted to open this up. Can I do it without, or why don't I just, I can just slit it. And that way I won't rack it with trying to trying to unglue this flap here. And I guess if it gets annoying, I can do something about it. Okay. Let's, oh, this is a lot of paper. Let's see what we have here. Maybe maybe the determining factor should be how close it is to fitting. Let's use one of these printed guys, maybe for the, I mean, this is obviously subject to change. Or maybe it would be better to use one of these dyed ones. That looks nice with the cover. Not that the cover will be staying that way. I should use some of the bigger pieces as well. So this is totally, as you can see, random. Oopsie. So if I throw aside the duplicate ones, and we'll have a better idea of how much paper we have here. Let's get some shorthand in there. Let's get some some brown paper in there. This is really a little guy. The other thing she suggested, and I think I'm actually going to do that because I know that I will be away for part of January, accompanying my husband on as he goes to convention, as well as a wee bit of travel. So what she suggested was sort of having a kit. So these, I believe, are all the duplicates here. So she suggested having a kit that you can sort of just grab and go. So that might mean, you know, obviously I'll trim this up to have the prompt sheet. I will fussy cut around some of these images. And goodness knows I will gather up some of my own images that maybe I have been hanging on to for who knows what reason. Okay, so let's just, obviously this is not necessarily the order, but let's just count 1, 2, 3, whoops, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15 times 4 is 60 sides. Well, that's plenty to do a 31-day month. So maybe instead of what I usually do, which is and maybe I'll try something different as well. Okay, so typically I would fold these things and then I realize, oh, I didn't fold it enough. Oh, I shouldn't have folded it that much. So I end up with all those creases. And a final trim. So why don't I instead maybe figure out my page order once and for all, sew it into the book, and then I'll see exactly what is sticking out where, and then trim accordingly. Like I would be able to turn this back, have these guys, you know, use a, of course I didn't, talk amongst yourselves as I run and get as I step over here and get my little sewing kit, or my binding kit. Okay, is that, if you can foresee a problem with this plan, speak now or forever hold your peace. Or do I, maybe I should have like kind of a full-size sheet for the front page. Okay, so let's pretend that this is the layout. I better throw in some smaller ones here and there. Now the challenge, of course, with smaller size papers is that whatever you do had better work with whatever is visible. But we love a challenge, don't we? Oh. I should neaten that up a smidge. Or maybe let me know in the comments if you're taking part in the Junk Journal January. or doing something different? Or is that when you've scheduled your nervous breakdown? You know, everyone is so busy, that's almost what it takes these days. Okay, well, I intend to have, you know, I booked my room at the hospital. I feel like I'm going to get sick with a cold or whatever. And see, and a good thing with doing it this way is that, okay, let me grab some clips. This guy still doesn't have a name. I'm going to do the survey in January. Whoa. What was I saying? Oh, the good thing with doing it this way, I hope, is that it should be fairly quick for one thing, and I will know exactly what. Excuse me, I think I already said that. My goodness, am I starting to repeat myself in my old age? So we hope that is, maybe I'll put one of these quilt clips. Those are the cat's meow, let me tell you. I'm going to do a 3-hole pamphlet stitch. And again, the usual thing is you want at least your threads to catch, 2 of your 3 threads to catch something. I keep defaulting to this one. It's thin, it's strong, but maybe this would be a, what is this? Waxed cotton jewelry cord. Let's change it up a bit. Whoops. And use some of this. Oh, I need a needle. Okay, I will, oh, I need something with a fairly big eye because that's quite thick. I've bundled up most of my needles so that I don't have to touch every single one. That's fairly thick, but I don't think there's any getting away from that. Just trying to flatten that a bit. Okay, that wasn't so bad. And I'm sure you've seen one of the dozens of videos millions of videos out there about this. I'm not measuring anything. I am obviously hoping that I've squished it in there nice and tight. I'll try to maintain this angle. I'm going to guess where am I going to be annoyed? Sorry, guys. It will be difficult to trim height. So I better have my act together on the height at least. So this maybe is the culprit here. And it's already tearing, it's so thin. So let's just shave a bit of this off. And doesn't look like anything else will be sticking out beyond there. This is perhaps the widest one here, but it I think there's, I said this was going to be quick, didn't I? Helps if the ruler stays put. I just know myself. And I'm thinking, okay, well, yeah, that looks good. And then I realized, well, no, it doesn't. And because I don't like doing crappy work, I then have to find a way to fix it instead of saying, oh, good enough. Because, you know, like if you're a type A person, I'm a recovering type A person. And even if it's just for me, I don't want to be disappointed when I see my stuff. Where did that other big clip go to? Honestly. Oh, there it is. She bounced out of the way. I'm thinking, how does this keep happening? So, doesn't that already look a bit neater? Okay, so I've got it crunched in there as much as I can. I'm aiming roughly for the center without stabbing myself in the finger. I basically have this folded closed so that the hole is, comes out where it should and is well positioned through the papers as well. You can see that my center paper is fairly narrow, so maybe I'll just go up a wee bit there. And I'm through. And I'll go up a wee bit there, just so that it's caught. And again, I'm through. Okay, here's my needle. The thread is, I haven't cut it. I always, 9.5 times out of 10, go through the center hole. Come up through the top one. Now, because it's just a hole made with an awl, it is not as nice as a crocodile hole, big bite or whatever that thing is called. Oh, I probably didn't quite go through far enough with that awl because, of course, the head of the needle. Oh, goodness. Am I going to have to put a reinforcement there? Where are my reinforcements? This is what happens when you clean up. Did I stick them in here with the labels, perhaps? For easy access. And to be able to remember at the drop of a hat. Oh my goodness. Not there. Let's pull this guy out before I make that hole any sloppier. Let's enlarge this right now. And of course, this awl is tapered. The point is thinner than further up the shaft. So by sticking it through further, I'm automatically enlarging the hole. Okay. And I suppose if necessary, I can, you know, put some washi tape in and around that area. Good grief. Did I ever tell you how easy bookbinding is? I guess, you know, the thickness of that cord doesn't help matters, because not only do we have to get the needle through, but 2 thicknesses of this stuff that is fairly oh, for heaven's sake. Please don't let this discourage you from trying to bind a journal. It really isn't this hard, contrary to the evidence in front of your face. Okay, 3rd time's a charm, I'm sure. Hallelujah. Then, of course, you go down through your last remaining hole. Oh, this should be fun. 2 thicknesses, and I didn't enlarge this hole. And now that I've made the holes so big, I mean, the easiest thing at this point would be to pull this all out and go with a thinner cord, but okay, come on, baby, you can do it. And I don't even have, I don't think I have a set of pliers here. Oh, see, you just have to threaten to start looking for the pliers and stuff starts happening. Okay, let's get that needle off. Let's adjust these cords somewhat. I certainly don't need a big honkin' knot. You know what, I'm probably just going to make those holes sloppier, so it is what it is. I'll tie this off, and you know, I guess that was a poor choice for the cord. It is a teeny tiny little book, so why I thought I needed something the size of a piece of rope is one of those unexplained things. Bad cord, bad. Now did I lose the needle? Oh my goodness, or did I, no, I took it off the end. Oh, anyway, I'll look for it after you've gone. Okay, let's see what this baby looks like. I'll probably need the scissors, but maybe let's give this a little bit of a burnish. Just to, must say that cord looks pretty good with that fabric, but it almost killed me to do it. Unbelievable the way things disappear. So I'm just, at this point, doing a bit of burnishing to help the pages lie the way they should. Could have staggered those a little more. But again, it will be the challenge of using it as I have made it, with the paper choices that I have made. Boy, and this is, I should have used one of the heavier pieces of paper in the middle, because that is that huge cord. Okay, kids, learn from my mistake. Don't use a heavier cord than you need to, no matter whether it matches or not. Or deal with the consequences. Okay, almost done with this part. Then I will do the widthwise trimming, and then come January, I will be ready. Feels pretty cool. Now, mind you, I'll probably, once I get this trimmed, I will probably, not trim, let's just tear to save some time. Now I can, you can't see it, but I can see where this corner off the, so if I line this up on my mat and line it up with one of the marks on the board, on the cutting mat, I should be able to tear this with reasonable accuracy. That's the coarser side of the... Oh, but let's not... Oh, that's a nice piece of paper. Let's not forget the pushing out effect. Or maybe that doesn't come into play when you do it this way, because I am looking at the finished edge off the, I'm looking at where I wanted to end based on, well, it's too bad I have to cut that off. Maybe I'll just fold that back. That could be a little tabaruno. I'm looking at the finished, where the edge of the journal is, and I kind of know that I want to be in about 1/4 of an inch from the edge, you know, roughly, so that should be okay. That's a little guy to peel off there. That's glossy. That's going to be probably a bit of a challenge to work with. Maybe I should just turn this in and see if this is going to be a help or a hindrance when it comes time. Let's do that here as well. Of course, if I want to add something, or if I need to rip that off when the time comes. Oh, look at that. That's a thick cord. I think I'm going to be washi taping some stuff Okay, let's back to do some tearing here. I hope that whatever viral, wicked thing is circulating has skipped past you and your family. It seems that this is the norm now, where people get something and then feel like it takes weeks to shake it. I don't know if it's been like around here, the fluctuation in temperature. It's still, I mean, not that I'm complaining, but it still hasn't gotten cold, really. You know, temperatures are well above where they should be. So, you know, there are old wives that believe that that promotes some of this unhealthy, you know, the things that kind of knock people flat. And I would venture to guess that most people, including me, I'm sure, aren't getting enough sleep. There we have it. That's pretty darn cute. Maybe instead of a clamp, what I'll do is just probably, oh, yeah, that'll work. Put an elastic band around it just so it kind of helps it decide that it needs to, or help it realize that it needs to be this way. And so probably what I'll do before the act, or maybe I'll just wait. I was going to say what I'll do is go ahead and reinforce some of those pages that need it before the actual thing begins, because then it'll be easier just to dive right in and do the prompt, as opposed to thinking, oh my goodness, why didn't I do this ahead of time? We'll see how it works out. I mean, there still is time to do it before the start of the year. I hope that watching this video has helped you either determine what to do or what not to do. Just trying to still find that needle, but maybe could I have put it back here without, is this the little, this might be it. Maybe I threw that in there without knowing. It would be good to have be a little more aware of what's going on here. Let's just say. Anyway, guys, I appreciate you joining me, and I feel better knowing that I have this done and ready to go. So I will, like I said, trim this, and oh, you know what I might do? I think I did that the time before. Oh, and Meg also decorated the front of hers, so I'll work on that. And I'll also do a pocket here so I can keep this prompt sheet folded and in the cover or at the back, wherever. Anyway, thanks so much for joining me. I hope that you choose to take part in this, because I think it's one of the less demanding, you know, open collaborations out there. You kind of do it, post something. So like in my case, that would also help with, you know, generating some of the content that seems to always be a bit of a problem. Like, oh brother, what do I do today? So yeah, I think that is another reason why I'm kind of looking forward to this. And I also hope, frankly, that the January is you know, that the pressure is off a little bit for each of us, because as much as this is fun, it's also, you know, I think we can get run down even having fun. Okay. I'll probably end up having to fold it like so. And like so. I'm going to turn this into an origami swan. No, I don't know how to do that. Anyway, I will put this in a pocket here, and I will be ready, and I hope you will be too. Thanks so much for joining me. See you in the next one, guys. Bye.